Hello everyone, welcome to a new Road to Rank 10 video. I recently hit rank 10 in Halloween Cup, and to celebrate the achievement, we decided to run a little poll to see what I have to run in the new Great League series. I'm pretty excited. Octillery was your choice. Even though Octillery is pretty useless against most of the meta, it can deal with Azumarill and Stunfisk depending on the moveset, which is also why I went for Mudshot, Octazooka and Gungshot. Octazooka for the Stunfisk and Gungshot for the Azumarill. With my other two picks, I went for Altaria and Deoxys Defense. Deoxys Defense would be my safe swap, and I gave it Psycho Boost and Rock Slide. I didn't feel the need to bring Thunderbolts because my lead Octillery could already deal with Azumarill. And for Altaria, I went with Sky Attack and Moonblast, and I opted to pick a heavily attack-weighted Altaria that can beat Azumarill in the 2 shield while Azumarill has 1 shield. Now there's obviously a lot of leads I can't deal with, but I managed to pull off a positive set, and I'm happy to show you guys. After the set, I have a few extra wins that I found really cool to show. Enjoy! So, in game 1, I lead Octillery into a Hypno, which is a really bad lead for me. So what I'm trying to do is debuff the Hypno and then swap to Deoxys. So here I throw in Octazooka. Even if it doesn't debuff, I always have to swap to Deoxys. But we actually get the debuff, which is nice. In comes the Umbreon, which is pretty hard counter for Deoxys Defense. And I'm just gonna throw a few Rock Slides before going down. Not gonna invest any shield, because I will need my shields later for the Altaria against Hypno matchup. So I just accept my fate and get full plate down. And then I come in with Octillery again, and I'm just gonna try to debuff the Umbreon again. In hindsight, I might have gone for Gungshot, but I didn't want to take a fall play that was not debuffed. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the debuff. Just gonna take the fall play and barely get another Octazooka, so we can feint the Umbreon. And then it's Altaria against basically 2 Pokemon. It's gonna be really hard. I always shield the first move from a Hypno because it might carry Ice Punch. But it does a Thunder Punch, so I'm not gonna shield the second move here. And I'm gonna try to get a bit extra energy. But 2 shields is very rough. He decides to let the Hypno go. Goes into Scrafty. And from this point, the Scrafty has enough with a fall play. So I'm gonna attempt to sack swap the Octillery, but it won't be enough. Here I catch fall play, style points, but I'm gonna lose the game. Game 2. Lead Octillery into Stunfisk, which is actually a good lead for me. I'm gonna do the Octazooka as soon as possible before any charge move hits. And then I'm gonna match shields with the Stunfisk. So he's attack dropped, so I know I can tank an Earthquake from this point. And then I can throw a second Octazooka. He shields, so I will shield the next one as well. And then I can do another Octazooka. So I won the lead. In comes Shadow Champ. I'm gonna go for Deoxys because I can resist the counters. In comes Skarmory, which is not ideal. I'm gonna fake I have a Thunderbolt. and hope to draw a shield. He doesn't fall for it, he takes the rock slide. So I'm just gonna keep on throwing rock slides and eventually go to Altaria, because I know I can one-hit KO the Machamp with a Psycho Boost. Here I'm just gonna fast move down. And then I'm gonna throw against the Machamp to draw the last shield. And then all I have to do is get back to the Deoxys and throw the Psycho Boost. So I'm not gonna shield the Altaria. I'm gonna Psycho Boost for the win. So 1 loss and 1 win so far. In game 3, I lead my Octillery into a Shadow Hypno, which is a pretty bad lead again. So I'm gonna try the same thing as game 1, throw the Octazooka and go to Deoxys. Get the debuff again. So this is pretty ideal. He'll throw a 2-stage debuff Thunder Punch, which I can tank really comfortably. And then his energy is gone. I'm gonna fake a Thunderbolt again. Most Azus don't shield first, so this one doesn't either. So I'm just gonna throw Rock Slides. Fortunately, the damage I do now on Azumarill doesn't really matter too much, because a Gunk Shot does so much damage. But I might bring the Azumarill into Octazooka range. Would be better for me energy wise. Here I'm gonna throw a Psycho Boost and hope to last resort charge move, and then I'm gonna try to fast move the Azumarill, so that I have a new Octazooka to throw on the Shadow Hypno. Hoping this will draw a shield. It doesn't, but I do get the attack debuff. In comes Shadow Machamp. In the 2 shields, I'm not really worried, and I know I still have the Octillery to attempt a sack swap. I'm just gonna shield anything, because risking a bait would be terrible. And opponent quits, so that's 2 wins for me. Game 4, I lead Octillery into Azumarill. This is the lead I always hope for, because most Azumarills don't shield my Gunk Shot, because they probably think I'm running Acid Spray or Ice Beam or something. So, Gunk Shot. That's a huge amount, and I can just take anything Azumarill throws at me. And then I can do an Octazooka if I'm not comfortable. Fast moving down. And then I'm not gonna switch out, because I don't wanna get locked. I go into Altaria to take some charge move damage, knowing that the Deoxys defense is pretty okay against Shiftry, but it has to watch out for the frog plays, of course. I'm gonna give up 1 shield, get baited, not so good, and then I'm gonna try the Rock Slide for the kill. He shields, so I suspect there's something weak to the Deoxys defense in the back, so I'm gonna mirror his shields, and I'm gonna try to fast move down, which I'm unfortunately not able to do. But lucky for us, it's another Leaf Blade, and it's a Skarmory, so I'm just gonna throw my energy, hope to get a shield, and here it's a race to the second charge move. Unfortunately, I lose that one. And then since Skarmory carries Brave Bird these days, I don't really have much hope to win. So I'm just gonna quit here. This brings the score to 2-2. Final game of the set. Octillery into Deoxys. Not a good lead for me, since even a Psycho Boost will pretty much kill me. So I'm gonna try to debuff and swap to my own Deoxys defense. Unfortunately, I don't get the debuff, so everything the Deoxys throws at me will be at full power. So Thunderbolts, and then there's a safe swap to Octillery and Stunfisk, which I'm actually pretty happy with, because I prefer the Deoxys against the Stunfisk instead of the Altaria. So I'm just gonna throw my energy. There's not much point in keeping energy stored because I cannot swap out, and I'm just gonna wait for the Stunfisk to throw something at me. Not gonna shield, so I can come back in with Octillery, and hopefully I can do an Octazooka before he gets to his second Rock Slide. Perfect. And then the Deoxys defends through his energy. So I'm just gonna try to swap to Altaria as fast as possible. But it's actually Surf Fetched. It's pretty good for me, because his counters won't do much, and the counters from Deoxys defense won't do much either. And the Surf Fetched has to get his attack boosted to threaten me. Since he threw so fast, it couldn't be a Brave Bird. So now I'm just gonna draw the shields. Here I decide to shield anyway, because I don't want to get into fast move damage, even though it's counter. And then here I just have to shield one Rock Slide. Still have the Octillery in the back. Attempt Sack Swap. Here my Switch Downer was up just a little late. Psycho Boost. Most Deoxys defense do Psycho Boost back to back, so I'm just gonna swap as soon as possible. And it worked. So Deoxys defense is 4-stage debuffed, so this is an easy win for me, and I have a Sky Attack ready to go. So that was my positive set. 3 wins out of 5. Now I have some bonus battles left. In my first game, I lead Octillery into Machamp. Horrible lead for me, so I'm gonna safe swap as soon as possible. To my Deoxys. In comes Alolan Marowak. And I'm just gonna Rock Slide because it's super effective. And then I hope to get a bait here. It doesn't, but it's a Shadow Bone, so I barely survive, and I can take a shield. If this was Shadow Ball, I wouldn't have survived. And the opposing Marowak decides to go down, so I'm gonna come in with my Altaria, and I'm gonna shield everything the Machamp throws at me. Because again, I'm pretty frightened about the Rock Slide, which would kill my Altaria. I'm gonna invest all my shields into it. Good thing I shielded there. And then it's a Trophius, so that's really good for me. And it's a Razor Leaf Trophius, so I resist it with my Dragon type and with my Flying type. So I feel pretty comfortable just staying in with my Altaria and take all the shields he has. I have my Octillery in the back, which is pretty useless here, but I might use it later against the Shadow Machamp to deal the last few HP points. I'm gonna take whatever the Trophius throws at me, and then I'm gonna barely beat it in the red. Now the Shadow Machamp's counters are gonna do damage, but I barely beat it. Game 2, I lead Octillery into Stunfisk, which is a lead I was hoping for. So I'm gonna Octazooka as soon as possible. See what the Octillery does. If I debuff and he shields, I will shield as well. It doesn't get debuffed, so an earthquake would KO me, but so I shield. And then he stage swaps to his Deoxys defense, so I'm gonna throw an Octazooka, and I'm gonna swap out, hoping I can debuff the Deoxys. And then I'm going to my Altaria, because I don't want the Altaria to get matched on the Galarian Stunfisk later. And the Rock Slides aren't threatening me so much, so I can safely tank 2. And then I'm gonna throw a Sky Deck for the kill. The nice thing about Altaria against Galarian Stunfisk is that Galarian Stunfisk has to throw a move to kill my Altaria. But the Deoxys decides to shield, and I'm okay with that. So I'm gonna the Deoxys debuff itself, and then I'm gonna swap to my Deoxys. Opponent swaps to his Galarian Stunfisk immediately, which is fine for me because I have the typing advantage. I'm gonna counter the Stunfisk down. It's the Rock Slide because he doesn't have enough energy. And now I have 2 Psycho Boosts stored for whatever comes in. Or a Rock Slide if he comes back in with his Deoxys. Yep, I'm gonna beat the Deoxys as soon as possible because I forgot how much energy he had. So I just wanted to get rid of it. And it's Sharim. So I'm gonna Psycho Boost, which will debuff me. But I still have my Octillery. So I'm gonna swap to my Octillery again. And then I have reset my my Deoxys. And here, the opponent throws a Weather Ball, and I survive it. So I barely have enough HP for a Gunk Shot, and you'll see how much damage it does on the Sharim. 1 H KO. So GG's. In the next battle, I lead Octillery into a Stunfisk again. So same pattern. Throw the Octazooka as soon as possible. And try to debuff the Stunfisk. If I get the debuff, I can tank the Earthquake. If not, I'll shield once. So I get the debuff. And opponent actually decides to overfarm me. So I can throw another Octazooka. Here I draw a shield. And here I was not sure what I should do. So I decided to throw an Octazooka and swap if it debuffed. But I draw the last shield and it didn't debuff. So I was gonna try to go for the next Octazooka. Didn't work, and the Gengar Shadow punched me down. So I come in with my Altaria. And then I'm 2 shields up, so really rough here. But I can throw a move at the Stunfisk, and then I'm gonna swap out with my Deoxys defense with 2 shields. I should be pretty comfortable beating whatever's in the back. Decide to shield once in case it's an Earthquake. It should be a Rock Slide, so I'm fine tanking that one. Actually decided to double shield. It's a jump bluff, a little bit of lag. So I'm gonna throw a super effective Rock Slide. I get to have shielded the previous Rock Slides because the jump bluff isn't really threatening my Deoxys defense. Energy Ball. Don't get debuffed. And then I'm gonna... Not sure why I'm over farming here. Yeah, there's still a Pokemon in the back, so I'm gonna go for a double Psycho Boost. Psycho Boost, come in with Altaria to reset my debuff, and then I'm gonna Psycho Boost again. And then I can counter down the Stunfisk. So, pretty close game nonetheless. And then Octillery into Abomasnow. Abomasnow reaches Energy Ball before me, before my Gunk Shot, but the Gunk Shot one hit KOs. And if I successfully shield the energy ball, I can bait and throw gunshots, or I can throw gunshot immediately into one hit KO, and it does. So now I'm down the shields. I'm not gonna swap out because I don't want to give him switch advantage. Here I should have thrown the Octazuka, but well, I was a little late. But that's fine for me. So now the Surf Fetched is out of energy. So I'm gonna go into Altaria because some Surf Fetched carry Ice Slash, and I don't want my Jax's defense to get hit by that. I'm gonna go to my Jax's defense, and I'm down the shields, and Jax's defense isn't the best against Galarian Stunfisk because of its charge move, but I successfully shield an Earthquake. And here I'm thinking probably not gonna use these two shields, so I just have to get the Stunfisk as low as possible. The first shield, and then here I try to go for a double Psycho Boost. Actually, good for me, he goes into his Surf Fetched again, which I managed to KO. And then I'm going to Altaria, and I can safely tank one Rock Slide. So, close games with a lot of swaps, but a win for me. In the last game, I lead Octillery into Shadow Victory Bell, which is obviously the worst lead I can get. He goes into Umbreon, which is again a very bad counter swap for me. But I'm just gonna play it out. I'm not gonna shield the Deoxys. And I hope whatever third Pokemon he has isn't Bastiodon or Galarian Stunfisk or whatever. So I'm gonna keep all my shields because I know with 2 shields Altaria is really strong. And then I'm gonna go into my Octillery. Here I'm thinking most people think Octillery runs Ice Beam, or they have no clue what it runs. So I'm gonna try to overform a bit, throw my Gunshot at the Umbreon, hoping it gets through. It does. And then he goes into his Victory Bell, and here I go into my... He goes into his Azumarill, and for me this is just an opportunity to showcase my attack Altaria, because I know I can beat it in the 2-to-1 shields with a lot of HP left. So I'm just gonna play it out and hope to catch one Ice Beam on my Octillery, and then I should be good to win. I'm gonna time my Sky Attack so that I don't get an extra bubble. And here, I think my last shields. As you see, my Dragon Breaths are doing 2 damage instead of 1, so the Azumarill is actually forced to shield here. Otherwise it would lose, and that's how I win the 2-to-1 shield. And here I have to catch an Ice Beam on my Octillery, but I fail. But that's actually okay for me, because I know I can farm down the Shadow Victory Bell. Unless it carries Sludge Bomb, but most Victory Bells don't, so I'm just gonna keep farming and hope he doesn't get an extra charge move off. And here I can Sky Attack the Azumarill down. So, getting hard countered 3 times and still manage to win. That's the power of Attack Altaria. So that was it for my game, for my games. Thank you for following my road to rank 10, and I hope to see you guys next season. If you enjoyed this video, leave a comment and a like, and if you want to see more PvP videos, make sure to subscribe to PvP Academia. Bye.